Welcome to Maurine's meditation page. These meditations are offered free in service to the divine. If you're interested in working with Maurine, learn more at headtoyourheart.com. Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you. And here we are in the dark of winter, a few weeks before the winter holidays. And just because it came up for me this week, I thought we would do a meditation and review the steps for prayer. And Farsana knows this because when we went to one of the oneness weekends, I believe it was in Phoenix, Arizona, and they did this really beautiful procedure of how to properly pray. I had never really known the steps to do. And so they gave us these wonderful steps, and we did this huge process. And anyway, so tonight I thought we might do that. And here are the steps. So I've embellished them a bit, and I've changed the order, what made sense for me. So y'all can just do it as you want, but I will be leading the meditation in the way that I've got it organized. So here are basically the elements that you want to include in your prayer, and probably the order isn't as important. But so the first step is prepare yourself. It's like tilling the soil before you plant the seed. And so this is the nice part of our meditation where we get ourselves centered, where we go into receive mode, where we put ourselves in the frame of mind to connect to our higher power. The second step is to touch base with your authenticity and your sincerity, that you're coming at this from a really clean place, which really goes along with the preparation step. And then the third step is for you to remember and to position your prayer in this way, is that you have a personal relationship with your divine, a loving friendship, a familial connection that is so difficult for us because we're in this veil where we can't see, and some of us do feel energies and things, but nothing like being on the other side, right? And so a lot of this is about trust, but for you to remember and to behave as, in your meditation and in your prayer, to behave as if you have a loving, active, personal, friendly, light relationship with your divine. That you're not praying to like some outer entity that's so far removed from you. Let it be close to you. Let it be intimate in a sweet and familiar way. So that's the next step of that, is personal relationship with divine. And then we move on to the next step, which is to be really clear about your request and to clarify what your need is, to get articulate about it and lay that out in a clear way. The next step is, now that you've clarified what it is that you'd like to present your prayer at, now let's step back from that and do a little housekeeping and look inside. Is there any obstacles? Are there any obstacles that you've created for yourself that may have played a role in this prayer not manifesting? Is there any housekeeping, or is there any cleanup that you have to do? Is there any clearing? Is there any forgiveness? Do you have something that you need to forgive around it? And maybe the answer is no, and that's fine. but it's just to me a point that it may come up depending on what I'm praying for. It may come up. The next step now is to present that prayer. And just like we did with our meditation, I believe it was last week, we did that manifestation meditation, is to pray. And I would say to even like visualize what it is that you see happening, see it as happening and visualize it as if it is already done, and embellish it, give it color and feel it and experience it and create it out there in the creative consciousness to paint a beautiful picture for God, for what it is you want. And just to share that in the lightest, happiest way, not in a desperate, oh God, I really need this. Let's try to lighten up and say, I have felt like, oh God, I need this, but how can I lighten up and just say, here, let me just paint a picture, a beautiful picture. And then when you've done that and you're offering it over, think about now, pray to God, what would you like, what are you willing to commit to do to have this manifest, to have your prayer come to fruition? What is your responsibility in it? If you need, we'll make it very superficial here. If you want a new car, what are you doing to manifest that for yourself? You're praying to God to help you, but have you saved some money for it? Are you doing some research for it? Are you actually going out? We're not just sitting back and saying, God, just give me this. What are we willing to do to take action? If there is anything that you can do. So just what is your commitment? What will you do on your part? Then the next step is to now release that prayer, offer it over, maybe bow to it as you release it. And this is the step of trusting that this or something even higher, and I would even say this or something even more suitable, that is important, that needs to happen, that we are willing to let go and to let God let that organize itself out in the creative consciousness. So to detach from the request and trust that the highest service for you and everything that you're connected to will manifest as it needs to be, and that we don't always know what that is. And the very last step is gratitude, appreciation, praise. And this is where you can just have that personal relationship with your divine, thanking, being so appreciative, basking in that love, sending out your heart full of love, praising God, and being appreciative. I was listening to a podcast, and this person was talking about that they were having they had a near-death experience, and she was saying that when she was, in the cosmos on the other side, that Jesus was showing her the earth, and she was looking, and there were all these lights everywhere, but then there would be these dark areas too that were shadowed, that there were not light, but then there would be light. And she was looking, and she asked, what am I looking at? And God or Jesus, I can't remember, whatever deity she said, they said to her, the lights are everyone's heart who is open and shining love up to God. And the dark ones are the people who are, turned away from that. Anyway, that really doesn't have a lot to do with the prayer, but I just wanted to share it with you because Wow, how beautiful is that? And there's plenty of times I know in my week when I turn away and I get all absorbed in my own little story or whatever I'm doing. And I don't know how shining my light is when I'm doing that, but to remember to keep that connection with God, keep that light shining. So, um, do you guys want me to, you can go off mute if you want. Do you want me to go back over these steps, and do you want to write them down? Because I did not. You know what I'll probably do? I'll put them in the show notes for YouTube. But it's but we'll go through all of the steps whenever we do the meditation. So with that, let's move in, and we will start with the very first step of preparing and to get yourself into that state of the mind. Get comfortable. Close your eyes down and just say hello to the being that is you. Get comfortable with it. All of that energy running through your body. The breath that is breathing you. Just observe. Bring your observation to the breath that is breathing you. Feel the weight of your body being held by gravity. And with every breath, imagine that you're preparing your space for a sacred experience tonight. And to set your intention for that. That you're just going to release anything that comes between you and your deepest authenticity, releasing anything that comes between you and your sincerity. And this is aligning your space to be in alignment with an open and pure state of mind. Relaxing your muscles, your face and head, shoulders, arms, torso, sit bones. And let a wave of relaxation ripple through you as you prepare your space and step into your most humble sincerity. And slowing down and creating a space of peace and reception, quiet inside, like your body is a temple, a sacred place. that you are intentionally preparing. Breathe into that. Now open your heart to your higher power, to God, to Jesus, however your higher power, however your divine shows up for you. Let your heart's warmth and radiance turn with love. You are recognized. God has never left you. So receive that. Relationship is a very, very familiar one. Maybe it's on a cellular level. Maybe the cognizant mind isn't able to acknowledge that, but in the heart and in your DNA, you know this light. You love and can easily receive this love. It knows you well. You are beloved. It's holding you. It's inside of you and all around you. There's nothing for you to concern yourself about, but to just sit with this loving presence. And you can treat it like a friend. You can laugh and be light. This is about connection. And like you're sitting with your favorite family member or a dear friend, loved one. You want to share your heart. And this presence is so attentive and loves you so much. It's all ears. And so we're presenting a request, a prayer, a need, a concern. And so just very casually and in a relaxed way, begin to formulate this prayer, this request. And as you do, clarify it more and more. So it's very clear and it's articulate, and you can get it down to maybe one sentence. So I'll give you time now to really clarify your request or need, what this prayer is now. And you're just formulating and clarifying. Get that spelled out. And it feels right. I'm going to take this in to yourself to do a little house cleaning on your own here. And where have you maybe gotten in your own way to be an obstacle for what it is you're praying for? It may not be anything, but if there is, this is some time to do some self-reflection. Is there anything that needs to be forgiven around any of this? Is there any energy that needs to be neutralized around this? If you need help and assistance with clearing anything out on your own about this, neutralizing it, or clearing an obstacle, ask for help. Ask for help here and now. You've got your best friend, your creator, your divine, right there. What would you be willing to release around any of this? Knowing that you will get the help you need. So offer that over if there's anything to offer. And now move in to the heart of your prayer. You clarified it. Now paint a picture of it in the creative consciousness. See yourself living. See that prayer manifesting in real time. Really show divine essence what it is that you're praying for. Really visualize your prayer. If you're not a visual person, maybe your prayer has a song. Maybe you'd like to sing that to God. As you are singing or painting or just presenting this prayer to your higher power, open up as if it already is, and really feel that, and open your DNA, open your cells in your body, that they acknowledge that this vision can saturate into every cell in your body. This beautiful prayer, you're showing not only God, but you're showing God's temple, your body, that you want to live this. You want to live this prayer for your highest good, for the highest good of all. And filling up with this prayer. And just saturate it with so much love. That this prayer is coming from a loving place inside of you. Move on to the next stage of this prayer. Is now contemplate, and you can ask for help with this from your divine. What can you do on your own in the material world to assist this request in manifesting? See yourself doing that. Lay it out for yourself. What is your commitment? And as you see what your commitment is and what you're willing to do toward this, open up and ask for the ability to see the signs. Maybe you're not sure exactly what you should do on that physical realm. So ask God or ask your higher power to help you to be open to receive the signs. If you're meant to do something, to help you to really be open and see the encouraging green lights that move you in a particular direction. And to pray for you to be open to see and have this intuitive sense of when you should stop or not do something, or shift from a decision to a different decision, to help you to have that intuition to guide you. Very good. Now, the next important step is for now you to release this prayer and just turn it over to God. You might visualize it as a big, beautiful balloon that you're holding, a big ball, and that you can just offer this beautiful prayer over and see it floating out into creative consciousness. You're giving it a blessing as you send it on its way. You can let go now. You've done your work, said your prayer. God has seen it. God has received it. And that's enough. Let go now. This or something more suitable, more powerful for the greater good of all will manifest. So you can let go now. This no longer has to be a burden on your shoulders. You've done your work on it. God has heard you. Breathe into that. Now we'll move into the final step. If you relate to praise, this is the time for that. Gratitude, being so thankful of your relationship with this divine essence, of your relationship to love, being so appreciative that you have been heard, that you have this relationship. So the final step is one of saying thank you. And I'll give you time for that now. The more thankful you are, imagine that just lights up your life. Higher power is looking down from heaven then. And here we are on earth, and you just imagine that your heart filled with gratitude right now, here and now, shines most beautiful spark of light that reaches all the way up to God's heart. You are acknowledged. Your light is acknowledged and seen and appreciated. Your light helps light up any of the other darkness around it. And so what a beautiful thing for you to praise God by turning and opening your heart to gratitude and letting your light shine, but also by bringing the light to anything dark. Because your light is love, and in that gratitude is a powerful love energy. Imagine your beautiful love energy emanating off of you and just radiating out and bathing our earth, just sending out that vibration to shift any of the lower energies, to just help them along, to bring light, healing. We could all turn to love. Wow, wouldn't that be great? So let's do a little energy work on that right now as we end our steps for prayer tonight. Bring the darkness to the light. Shining for God. No matter what your experience with your prayer work tonight, know that you've done good work. Every step was important, and it was exactly where it needed to be for you. You are loved. You are part of the bigger picture. You are never left behind. All is well. It really is. So breathe into that as you bring yourself back from our meditation. And with every breath, carry you back. And you have plenty of time to carry yourself back. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining in on these free meditations. If you're interested in working with Maurine privately, learn more at headtoyourheart.com.